Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody which doesn't infringe a copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Ringo TV Reactions. Yeah. We're back again with another one. You know, we got to revisit the past sometimes to understand the present. Which brings us to Heche, alleged blood sacrifice by Degeneres after sexual misconduct allegations. Yeah, we got to revisit this. It's very important that we do that. This is going to be another classic show. So, shout out to everybody joining in on the stream. Appreciate everybody stopping by. We're going to do a lot of reading. We're going to play some footage. We're going to try to put these pieces together. We're dealing with a very, very interesting topic to also understand the death of Stefan. We got to put it all together. A lot of people sent me some good information. Appreciate everybody that took the time out of their busy schedule to send some information so I could put together this particular stream. I'm surprised I didn't even know about this. I'm just being honest. And after doing my studies of everything that transpired with Anne, this was in fact a blood sacrifice ritual. Yes, indeed. And they tried to cover it up. But it's time for us to uncover the truth. So, as you enter the stream, you know, if you got your popcorn, you got whatever you got, you know, we're about to go on a journey. And, you know, already don't know how it is. We're going to break this thing down. We're going to share our commentary, criticism about everything. This is going to be an interesting one. And I got more to show later on. It's just too much to show in one stream. I'm hoping that this don't go over 2 hours, but you already don't know how it is when you do these shows. So we're going to be dealing with a bunch of different issues right now, and I want to make sure that everybody's up to speed on exactly where we're going. We're dealing with pretty much the sexual allegations at the workplace concerning Degeneres. Now, this is not today's news. This happened a few months back. And I'm talking about the situation with the woman. Talking about Anne. But before all of that went down, Degeneres had a lot of allegations against her. And we got video footage that we're going to bring out in another stream of different people that was all saying the same thing. Like she was very toxic, problematic, made a lot of people very stressful. So ain't no telling what Twitch was under. And if Anne was deleted by way of a blood sacrifice, and we're going to get into it, her death was a ritual. We're going to break it all down. After I saw the tapes, after I put it all together, I was like, yeah, this is definitely a blood sacrifice. They wanted her dead as soon as possible. That's right. And when we got to the particular portion where they took the body out of the house, her body was in perfect shape. Now, you would think if somebody crashed a car at that speed and the whole house is in a burning inferno and there's smoke, and then all of a sudden they bring the body out and they cover it with a white sheet as if though she's dead, but yet she pops up under the sheets and rises up. Sounds to me like someone was supposed to be dead, but they weren't. Oh yeah, that's right. No blood, nothing. Yeah, that's right. See, we're going to bring it all out. We're going to bring it all out. That's right. We're going to bring it all out. So let's start off with these allegations. Let's go down memory lane. Let's break it all down so that we can all be on the same page, right? So now, and again, as you come into the stream, do me a favor and click the like button. That way we get more people in so they don't miss nothing. You want them to experience the whole show straight through so they don't come in too late, right? Let's go. Let's start this thing off right now. So, and I might take a break during the stream. You know what I'm saying? Probably have to check on a few things outside or whatnot, because I'm expecting a package or something to pretty much show up. So I might have to take a break midstream. So it goes on and it says Ellen DeGeneres is ending her TV show after allegations of sexual misconduct and a toxic workplace. So we know why the show ended. We know why, right? The decision comes after BuzzFeed news reports details a range of workplace allegations from employees that included sexual misconduct, racism, and intimidation. Those are some strong allegations, to say the least. You know, there she go right there. Ellen DeGeneres. Yeah, that's right. Let's see what else we get. Let's see. It goes on. Hold on a second. Let me rewind this back. Hold on. All right. It goes on and it says, Ellen DeGeneres has decided to end her daytime talk show, which has faltered in the ratings after allegations of a toxic workplace environment where top producers engaged in a wide range of sexual misconduct with lower level employees. Interesting. Representatives for the show did not immediately return requests for comment, but in a statement to The Hollywood Reporter on Wednesday, DeGeneres said her upcoming 19th season will be the last. She also framed the decision around the show no longer being a creative challenge. So DeGeneres basically said that the show is no longer a creative challenge to her, so she's pretty much going to end everything. But we all know why. It's because of sexual misconduct. When you're a creative producer, so this is a quote probably coming from her, I guess. Quote, when you're a creative person, you constantly need to be challenged. And as great as this show is, and as fun as it is just not a challenge anymore, DeGeneres told The Hollywood Reporter. The news was first reported by the Daily Mail, but the decision to end her Emmy Award-winning show also comes after BuzzFeed News report details a wide range of allegations from current and former employees, including that 3 of the show's executive producers oversaw a workplace culture where sexual harassment and inappropriate touching was pervasive, prompting an internal Warner Media investigation. Wow. So that whole place was a hot mess. Very, very toxic. Everybody touching one another. Just a very toxic environment. You really can't work in a place like that, right? It says soon after the investigation was launched, DeGeneres sent a letter to staff responding to former employees who said racism, fear, and intimidation were commonplace. Wow. So racism, fear, and intimidation were commonplace. Wow. In her message, Degeneres said she had come to rely on others to stay on top of the delay. Interesting. See what else we get. On top of the delay operation, and added, my name is on the show and everything we do, and I take responsibility for that. Interesting. Very, very interesting, to say the least. In August, Degeneres announced executive producer Ed Glavin and Kevin Lamont and co-executive producer Jonathan Norman had been fired. Interesting. So all of these other producers and so forth, they were all fired. Interesting. It seemed like Ed was fired, Kevin and somebody else, Jonathan. So all men, right? It looked like all men were fired, I guess. They were all punished, right? And we probably know why, right? Ellen probably didn't like men, obviously, right? So I guess that's where we get the intimidation, fear, racism, and everything else. This is sad. This is crazy stuff going on here. It's interesting that Degeneres, she wasn't fired. You know what I mean? Like, she just was able to keep her job, and run the show. But that's interesting that these guys got fired. I would like to know who they are to see if they made any public statements. Interesting. What is this that we have here? Very, very interesting, to say the least. Give me 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. I have to be right back. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back, just double checking because I'm unable to hear what's going on with my headphones on. But as you can see right now, this looked very interesting. That would be, yeah, that's right, Degeneres and Anne. Look like they're doing a little flirtatious kissing or something going on. Interesting. But we're going to get into more of that later on, right? Let's see what else we got here. That's Anne Heche. Wright rises to give her partner, Ellen DeGeneres, a kiss during a break on the set of the Ellen. So this is what they're doing on the set. This is not supposed to be going on the set. You're not supposed to be kissing and doing all of this stuff in the workplace, not on the set. You're not supposed to be doing that. So that's a problem right there, right? So I guess that's why the allegations came out, right? It goes on and it says, but her apology couldn't stem the fallout. Months later, the show was losing advertisers, struggling to book A-list celebrities, suffering a dip in ratings during what is usually the busiest time of the year. Sources with knowledge of the situation told BuzzFeed News. So basically, because of the allegations, because of all of the sexual misconduct, they were unable to book A-list celebrities because nobody wanted to come to a show. Once they heard about the racism, the fear, the intimidation, nobody wanted to work with her. And this basically confirms everything that Judge Joe Brown had to say in that past live stream that I did, where he called Ellen DeGeneres evil, crude, and rude. So that confirms those statements. In her interview with The Hollywood Reporter, DeGeneres said she had been contemplating leaving the show for several years, but was convinced to stay on. So that's kind of telling that she contemplated leaving the show for several years. That means she was being fake while she was on the show, right? She was being fake the whole time. It goes on and it says, but was convinced to stay on. But then reports of misconduct started emerging. And unfortunately, I learned that through the press. So she's basically saying, I was planning on leaving, but then now this misconduct nonsense come through and I had to learn it from the press. In other words, everybody at my company or at the job place, they're all snitching on me. That's basically what she's saying right there. Quote, and at first I didn't believe it because I know how happy everybody is here and how every guest talks about. So she was under this misconception that everybody in the workplace was happy, that everybody was go-lucky, just having a great time. And from a lot of people that I've looked at little clips here and there, they were all saying that she was one big fraud the whole time. In the public eye, she would smile, but behind the scenes, she'll be flipping out on everybody in the workplace. Very, very toxic environment, right? So it goes on and it says, man, you have a great place here. Of all the talk shows I've done, everyone here is so happy. That's all I ever heard, she said. So there was an internal investigation, obviously, and we learn some things, but this culture we're living is one where no one can make mistakes. When people say that stuff like that, what they're basically saying is they don't want to be held accountable for anything when their hand is caught in the cookie jar. So it goes on and it says, and I don't want to generalize because there are some bad people out there and those people shouldn't work again. But in general, the culture today is one where you can't learn and grow, which is, as human beings, what we're here to do. Now, I get what she's saying right there, because we do live in a culture where it seems like if you do anything, you're canceled, and it's like you don't get to learn. But now, when you have years of misconduct, when you have years of allegations, when you have years of people saying that you're a horrible boss and how, you're just doing things to humiliate people and people are touching on one another and you're kissing another woman on the set, it kind of makes for a hostile working environment, to say the least. It's just not cool. So I understand what she's saying, but she's not in a position to use that because the allegations are very, very strong and people lost their livelihood. We saw earlier 3 men got fired due to whatever went down. So we don't know the severity of what really happened behind them closed doors, but I'm pretty sure it was a very hot and toxic environment to work at. Let's see what else we got, because we got a lot of stuff to cover, fam. We got a lot of stuff to cover. We're even going to expose TMZ. Yeah, that's right. We're going to expose everybody. We're not playing right now. We got work to do. Right? So now it goes on and it says Degeneres' departure from daytime television marks a stunning fall for a comedian who got her start doing stand-up comedy before going on to build an empire based on her observational brand of humor and reputation as the Queen of Nice. See, this is the image and the illusion that she tried to portray to the people, the Queen of Nice. She achieved household name status in the 90s, starring in the ABC sitcom Ellen, where she made history in 1997, where her character came out as gay. Interesting. She launched the Ellen DeGeneres show in 2003, and it quickly became one of the top-rated daytime television shows, as well as a popular promotional stop for celebrities. So I guess a lot of celebrities stopped on her show to do little interviews. They could promote books, tapes, recording artists could pop up and do their thing. And it was very high in ratings in the beginning. And all of that came to a screeching halt. It goes on and it says a huge part of her branding included her oft-used phrase, "be kind to one another." But in recent years, the mantra started to be challenged by employees and former guests. Now that's problematic. In other words, the mantra that she had in terms of be kind to one another was challenged because the employees started to complain. They started to realize that she was fake and that it was all a front. I'm pretty sure most of you out there, you know people that when they get around others, they act nice. They act like a kind person. But when they're around the people that are the regulars, the real colors come out and they try to hide it with a mask. You see? This is supposed to be the cast, I guess, of the crew, right? It says right there, the crew of the Ellen DeGeneres show posed in the press room with the award for Outstanding Talk Show Entertainment at the 41 Annual Daytime Emmy Awards on June 22nd, 2014. So they were proud of that moment, you know, getting their award and everything seems to be cool. But the thing is, they all knew the place was toxic. They all knew that it was a bad environment to pretty much be in. So now we go on. It says in April 2020, beauty YouTuber Nikki DeJaga accused DeGeneres of being cold and distant when she appeared on her show months earlier. DeGeneres' bodyguard at the 2014 Academy Awards also spoke out about how unfriendly she was. So again, everything that we're reading here confirms what Judge Joe Brown has said in that recent stream. Are we paying attention? So Judge Joe Brown was correct when he said that she's rude, crude, and evil. That's what Judge Joe Brown said. It goes on and it says, Variety also reported in April 2020 that crew members for the talk show were outraged over how top producers handle the production shutdown amid the coronavirus pandemic, saying that they had received no written communication about their working hours or pay for over a month. Wow. So people with livelihoods, with families, they all struggled. You know, their kids were starving. They couldn't meet the mortgage, couldn't pay for the car note. You know, just a real tough time. You know, everybody was, you know, had to go through it during the pandemic, right? So it goes on and it says, then in July, BuzzFeed News report on allegations of a toxic workplace where former employees said they were fired after taking Bavarian time off for family emergency. So basically, we have families that were fired because of their family emergencies. Imagine, you know, your daughter is sick and you got to tend to her issues, but Ellen and the team fire you because you took time off from work. You know, you had to be there for your child, so you probably took a week or two off because they really needed you. And you end up getting the pink slip in the mail. Yes, that's right. You're fired. And this is sad. This is really sad. I mean, you can't fire people when they have a family situation. You can't just fire somebody. They need time off. They need time off. You know, it is what it is. Things happen. So to have employees, and it says not just one employee, it says employees were fired, right? Because they had family emergencies. Others cited repeated incidents of managers making racist comments. Yes, that's right. On the Ellen DeGeneres show. Yes, they were making racist comments. Wow, this is amazing. What a workplace to be in, right? Let's see. It goes on and it says that report spurred an international investigation. In a statement on July 30th, Warner Brothers said that although not all of the allegations were corroborated, we are disappointed that the primary findings of the investigation indicated some deficiencies related to the show's day-to-day management. So now they blaming management. Now they trying to point fingers. So they were disappointed. You know what I mean? Warner Brothers was disappointed because that's the parent company, which I guess oversee the various different shows that people see on TV. So this is interesting information right here. Very interesting information, to say the least. It goes on and it says, that same day, Degeneres sent an apology. You know, they normally send out apologies when they did dirt. And it's sad. Yeah, she was just an adult bully. Yes, you're right. Correct. She was an adult bully. That's right. I mean, if you actually viewed the Judge Joe Brown live stream that I made, Judge Joe Brown talked about how he experienced that side of Ellen DeGeneres when she told him to go put on that robe in a very disrespectful way, when he actually was sent out to do a favor to help her get her ratings back up, right? So real sad situation. So it goes on and it says, that same day, and we're talking about the same day that we just finished reading all of the other stuff and all the allegations and everything came out. It says that same day, DeGeneres sent an apology to her staff, saying that the show was supposed to be a place of happiness where everyone would be treated with respect. See, that's the illusion. And also, when we now look at the situation with Stefan Twitch Boss, we know that he was a part of that particular toxic environment. And the images that you saw of him on that show, in terms of everyone being treated with respect and, you know, with care and love and all of that stuff, it's an illusion. It wasn't real. It wasn't real. And these are the things that you must understand. It appears real. See, in my last stream, I talked about how during that show, Stefan may have felt at home, but for all intents and purposes, that may not even be true. He may have been in a very toxic environment. Do you understand? Because remember, that's how he was making his livelihood. That's how he was doing what he had to do. And he had to put up with a lot of stuff, including racism. And the only reason why Ellen was so, for you know, all intents and purposes, nice to Stefan is to quiet down the allegations of racism. Bars. Yeah, that's right. She had to give off the image of how she's giving a tribute and being nice to this black man and giving him opportunity to make the public not believe that she had any sort of, you know, issues. You get what I mean? And I'm just saying, whether it was her or other staff members, we don't know all the details. But at the end of the day, if the staff is toxic, it's because the boss is toxic, period. Look, ladies and gentlemen, if you're at your job and a lot of your coworkers are out of line, they acting crazy, they bugging out, chances is it's all because of supervision. Normally, the supervisors are out of order. If the supervisors are not doing their job, the staff won't do their job. It's just that simple, right? You could be the best worker on the job, doing everything right, and a lot of your coworkers could be out of pocket. And the reason why is because the supervisor is not supervising. You know what I mean? That's why I always tell people, if you're on a 9 to 5, don't complain about everybody else that's not doing their job. At the end of the day, they're not doing their job because the supervisor is not doing their job. So in the case with Ellen DeGeneres, the reason why the place was toxic and there was a lot of misconduct, sexual harassment, and various other things is because she was most likely partaking in the same harassment. Bars. You understand? So we got that situation taken care of, right? So she said, Place supposed to be a place of happiness and would treat it with respect. It goes on and says, quote, obviously something changed and I am disappointed to learn that this has not been the case. And for that, I am sorry, she said. We all know she was never sorry. That's just what they do for show business. It goes on and it says, hours later, BuzzFeed's News published a second report, this time centered on allegations of rampant sexual misconduct among 3 male executive producers. Wow. Glavin, Norman, and Lemon. The allegations includes groping. So they were groping people, inappropriate touching, and soliciting oral sex. Wow. That sounds pretty steamy, to say the least. Imagine you in the workplace and, you don't know none of these guys and they just come out of the blue and say, hey, sister, could I get some head? Could you, and you remember, these are executives now. So, a lot of women may have felt, and then again, we don't know if it's women. It could have been men too. We don't know. Do you understand? They could have been soliciting other men. They could have been soliciting women. And that right there is very toxic. You know what I'm saying? It creates a very crazy environment where women are thinking like, man, in order for me to keep my job, it's like, I got to get this guy head. Remember, we talked about that in another video. I keep forgetting the damn term for it, but it's like when you're trying to use some sort of fear and intimidation to get somebody in the workplace to do something in hopes to get a promotion, in hopes to get the raise and whatnot. This is what they were doing at the Ellen DeGeneres show. Guys were groping women, pretty much squeezing their behind, groping their breasts, hugging them inappropriately. Yeah, quid pro quo. Yeah, that was being violated. And to be honest with you, when these allegations broke out on her show, I don't know if you can all recall, but during that time, if you were in any agency working in any 9-to-5 company, you all got an update in terms of the company's code of conduct, standard procedures. You all got the red paper that says, starting today, we have a new policy, sexual harassment, blah, 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 blah. You can't layer in looks, you can't touch, you can't grope, you can't do this. It all started there, That's where it all started. So if you're wondering why your company or your agency had given you that letter, that memorandum, it started because of what happened on the Ellen DeGeneres show. This is where it all came from, because in the workplace, you would think that people would know better not to do all of these things. But believe it or not, in a lot of working environments, man, there's a lot of rampant sexual misconduct that goes on. A lot of stuff. Supervisors banging the worker there, and the executive is getting head from the woman over there, and the janitor is having an affair with another man over there. And it's like everybody's sleeping around with everybody on the job. So it's like you're wondering why no work could get done. It's because everybody is not doing their job. They're too busy having sex in the workplace. You know what I'm saying? And then to add insult to injury, some ladies get pregnant on the job from dealing with the supervisors, and that creates a conflict of interest. That creates a hostile working environment, and then it creates gossip, and now everybody's talking about it, and it just creates one big mess. And that is what was going on her show. So Glavin, if we can go back, Glavin, Norman, and Lemon, the allegations include groping, inappropriate touching, and soliciting oral sex from staffers. Wow, that's bold of those guys. Norman and Levin strongly denied the allegations. Glavin did not respond to a request for comment. Well, hey, maybe he just felt like, I'm not gonna incriminate myself. But those are some strong allegations to just, soliciting oral sex. That's wild right there, man. I can understand if, you got with a sister and she's really wanting to rock with you and, top you off after work, at her place for a nice evening, but to be walking around the job soliciting oral sex, those are some strong charges right there. So it goes on and it says Degeneres, what's that? Mea culpa amid the expose, did little to appease staff members. I guess the apology or whatever did a little bit to, probably, I guess, to appease the staff members to make them feel comfortable, who called her apology disingenuous. Of course it was disingenuous. It's coming from Ellen DeGeneres. What do you think? I mean, I would hate to be a guy on the job and I'm being accused of soliciting oral sex from some women. Those are some horrible allegations. Like, seriously, it's like your whole reputation on the job is destroyed. Even if it's false, it's like to have that cloud over your head. That's not cool. That's not cool for when things like that happen. Now it's pretty strict. A lot of people can't get away with certain things in the workplace. Right. So it goes on and it says one longtime current employee told BuzzFeed News that Degeneres letters to staffers didn't seem to be written by the talk show host herself. See, this is what I've been telling y'all for a lot of times. A lot of these letters, posts, messages that you see on social media, even letters you get from your company, it's not even written by the superintendent or whoever is the executive in control. They don't write nothing. They don't do nothing. Somebody else did it. It'd be fake. And that just makes it even worse to know that it didn't come from Ellen herself. Of course, it's going to make the workers feel bad. The morale of the company, of the staff is going to be down. People ain't going to want to come to work. And that's pretty much what they did. It goes on and it says, quote, if I wanted to think there was going to be 1 ounce of hope to save the show, she really had to come out and be genuine, and I just don't believe it, the employee said. She doing what she's told to save what she can of the image she has left. In other words, she's just basically trying to save face, doing damage control. That's pretty much what she's doing some damage control in hopes to save her reputation and name. It goes on and it says Degeneres reportedly informed her staff of the decision to end the show Tuesday and plans to sit down with Oprah Winfrey to discuss the news on Thursday. Now you have to understand, when Degeneres plan on ending the show, it ends everybody else's livelihood at the same time. You see how that works? When she planned on doing that, that's also punishment. In other words, I'm ending the show, so all of you are out of a job. Ha ha ha. That's what she just did. Sad situation, but that's exactly what's going on. Let's see what else we got, because we got more. Oh, interesting. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the second side of the show. If you're now joining in, right, we're talking about Anne Heche, alleged blood sacrifice by Ellen DeGeneres, right? We're talking about this particular issue because it's very important. This all happened after the sexual allegations. It happened due to the misconduct, and also because Anne was coming out with a tell-all or a memoir, some sort of literature that was going to pretty much expose Ellen DeGeneres. Yeah, that's right. Very, very telling information. And somehow, some way, for some odd reason, right, her car sort of malfunctioned, we will say, and just drove into a house. Yeah, mysteriously. Interesting, right? So let's see what this particular site has to say. This very interesting stuff coming out. It's just some information that just doesn't sound right. We're going to read what it says. Again, I said we're going to be doing a lot of reading because I believe in reading. I believe in deep thought and breaking things down. We have about 790 in the building. We have 235 likes. If you are liking the show, if you're liking the stream right now, and you feel that it's, you know, I guess providing you what is needed to help you understand the current events that happened in the past, which can help us to understand Ellen DeGeneres in today's day in light of the death of Stefan Twitch Boss, then give the video a like. It goes a long way. It helps with the algorithm to get people to kind of show up at the stream, and we can all partake at the table and get the information, because we have a lot to cover here. So always remember that with your support, I'm able to do what I'm doing right now. If you're not supporting, then nothing will work. It's just that simple. It's not even about me. It's about the content. That's what it's all about. So I really appreciate that. It's very encouraging. Okay, so let's start reading this particular section here. We got some news clips we're going to get into, some other things. Very, very telling information to understand what's going on here. And Heche. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name correct. I think it's Anne Heche. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anne Heche. Stuck in a burning car for 45 minutes. After crash. Now, let's just stop right there and let's use logic. You're in a burning car for 45 minutes. Does that sound normal? Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. You're in a burning car for 45 minutes. Is that even possible? It's not possible. You see what I'm saying? That's what it says. I'm not making it up. Look at the date and the time. You know what I'm saying? Date and time. Look, check it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even making none of this stuff up. You know what I mean? I'm not making none of this stuff up. We're going to read all of this. I'm just playing it out so you can see it. You know, and this is coming from TMZ. I just need to make you understand that. This is what TMZ put out there. TMZ put this out there. They said that Anne Heche stuck in burning car for 45 minutes. First of all, you would be dead of smoke inhalation if you were in there that long. You know what I mean? You would be gone. Seriously. Again, shout out to everybody that's joining in the chat. I see a lot of people saying hello, how you doing? You know, peace and blessings to everybody that's joining the stream. If you're now coming in and you just don't know what we're talking about Anne Heche, alleged blood sacrifice by Ellen DeGeneres after sexual misconduct allegations. That's right. Very, very steamy allegations. If you now join in, you pretty much missed that part of the stream. At the same time, we're at the next section where we're talking about Anne Heche stuck in a burning car. This is amazing. Stuck in a burning car. Now, I'm trying to figure out, how can you be stuck in a burning car, right? And for whatever reason, while stuck in this car, it's like you didn't die, but you're in there for 45 minutes. 45 minutes, mind you. 45 minutes, and you're not dead in a burning car. That's right. TMZ reported this. So let's get into the story. Let's find out what's going on. That right there is Anne Heche. That's right. The late Anne Heche. Yeah, she was sacrificed. Yeah. She was sacrificed. That's right. Allegedly by yours truly, Ellen DeGeneres. Yes, that's right. She was blood sacrifice. Yeah. Murdered. Right. No investigation. Yeah. Amazing. That's right. And the way she died was interesting. Let's see what it says. It goes on and it says, Anne Heche was not rescued immediately. Interesting. She wasn't rescued immediately. It's, you know why she wasn't rescued immediately? Because they wanted her to die. Of course. You know? She was about to expose all different types of people. Oh yeah, she was about to do a lot of dirt. That's right. Anne Heche was not rescued immediately after the car slammed into an LA home and caught the house on fire. Not even close. It took the fire department 45 minutes to rescue her. Now, come on, ladies and gentlemen. 45 minutes? 45 minutes to rescue somebody in a burning car, and the house is on fire and the smoke is all in the house. But for some odd reason, this person is breathing nice. This person got air. This person is breathing. Okay, whatever you say. So you want us to believe that this person was in a car for 45 minutes on fire, right? And the car is a roaring inferno. And she's perfectly fine with no burns, nothing, no cuts, and driving at about 90 miles per hour, crash into a house, no blood all over the face, no cuts and bruises and broken limbs, nothing. That's what you want us to believe? Sounds to me like, in all sense and purposes, the whole thing was staged. And for whatever reason, the car that everybody thought she was in, she was not in. But she was actually in that house. That's right. We're going to put it all together. Again, I'm surprised I didn't know about this story. The only reason why I know about this story is because of my investigation into the Stephen Twitch boss murder. That's the only reason why this is coming up, because I'm trying to find out more about Ellen DeGeneres. And then I have the lovely support of the viewers that hit me up on IG with various videos and images and different things here and there. And I appreciate it. I appreciate your time, you know? So now it says it took the fire department 45 minutes to rescue her. Ann Heche dead at 53. New information had surfaced from the LA Fire Department. A timeline of the horrendous crash that took the actress' life. According to the records obtained by NBC4 LA, the blaze was so intense. Now listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. The blaze was so intense, firefighters couldn't even get near Ann's car. Now let that marinate a little bit. Let it marinate, right? Now think about this. Firefighters with their protective gear, right? With their air canisters on them, with their fireproof equipment, they couldn't get near her, right? They couldn't get near the intense blaze. But for some reason, Ann is inside the car for 45 minutes. You want us to believe that nonsense? Are you kidding me? You want us to believe that Ann Heche was inside of a car for 45 minutes and the fire department said the blaze was so intense, firefighters couldn't even get near Ann's car for at least 20 minutes. Wow. Once the fire department got there, they just waited for her to cook inside the car for 20 minutes. That's basically what they're saying. Why? Because they heard her voice, they heard her probably screaming, and they're like, okay, we're a part of the blood sacrifice. We got to wait for her to die. Now, what fire department sits back waiting for someone for 20 minutes because the flames were so intense? So you mean to tell me with all the fire department gear in that small little house, they couldn't go in there with all their equipment, the hoses, the water, and everything and get to work? Are you kidding me? Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you that blood sacrifices are real, I am telling you, blood sacrifices are real. Listen, they will stage the blood sacrifice with the fire department. Do you understand? Or they will send a special fire department crew. In other words, when the call go out, a special crew would come in. And the people that you think are the fire department, these are the fire department folks that come in when there's blood sacrifice. And they clean up everything. Oh, we got the footage. We got everything. We bringing everything out. You already done know how we do. We thorough over here. We're going to make it happen. I'm just surprised that I didn't know about this story when it first dropped. You know what I mean? But it's good. It's good for content, and it's good for the viewers to understand who Ellen DeGeneres is and the company that Stefan Twitch boss was working for, right? So now it goes on and it says, the blaze was so intense, firefighters couldn't even get near Ann's car for at least 20 minutes. Once there, it took an additional 20 minutes to extricate the vehicle pretty much from the burning house. So let me get this straight. You couldn't extract the vehicle from the house the minute you got there. You had to wait for it to burn for 20 minutes, and then you waited an additional 20 minutes. So the whole time you getting the car out, over 40 minutes already passed. So she's toasting in the car and breathing in all the smoke, the soot, everything. Because remember, the house is on fire as well as the car. At least that's what they want us to believe, right? Again, ladies and gentlemen, all of these blood sacrifices always have clues of foul play. And we're going to bring it all out. Because the blood sacrifice was a failure, but it was caught on live television. It was caught on camera. This is why they can't erase it. But they're hoping that you're dumb and you don't understand the truth. We're going to bring it all out for you. Trust and believe you. We're going to bring it all out, fam. And for some of you, you may probably not even seen this. But right there, we see the situation right there. You see the house right there. Boom, boom, boom. You have all these fire trucks, right? So let me get this straight. All of these fire trucks, all of these firefighters, but it takes you 20 minutes to get to the car. You couldn't get in. You couldn't get in that house as firefighters, professional firefighters now. Y'all couldn't do y'all thing? Come on, man. This is not making any sense. But hey, let's just go with it, right? So we see the layout right there. We see what's going on. Let's see what else we find, right? And keep in mind, she came up from over here, right? Let me see if I could do this real quick. She came up from down here. She came up from down here and went straight this way. She came up this street, boom, right? Now, a lot of people were roasting Anne Heche as if though she did something wrong. They didn't know this was a blood sacrifice. They didn't know that they lined her up to die. They don't know that her car, listen, ladies and gentlemen, her car was actually compromised. Somebody said, "What are you saying, Ringo?" Her car was compromised. She had no control over her car and she was drugged. That's right. Allegedly. She had no control over her car. That's right. And she was drugged. That's right. And they wanted her dead. And they failed. And it's all on tape. This was a failed blood sacrifice, and it was caught on tape. Wait till you see the tape. Wait till you see the tape. It made me fall out my chair when I saw it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how they did this. But let's go. It goes on and it says, LA fire chief says the combination of smoke and fire. Now listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Again, here on Ringo TV Reactions, right, we focus on logic. You have to think logical. Listen to what the fire chief is saying. Now, again, I got much respect for firemen. I got much respect for the fire department. I think they have the most dangerous job in the world. They're some of the bravest, you know. I mean, you have to be an interesting character to be a fireman. You have to have the type of attitude of, look, we're going to do the job. We're going to get it done. So, hey, I got the utmost respect for firefighters. At the same time, I want to use logic. We have to make sense of this. A fire chief is saying this. A fire chief, one that's supposed to be experienced, one that other firemen look up to because of his experience. This is what he said now. An LA fire chief says the combination of smoke and fire made it nearly impossible to see or approach the car. Now, I know what fires look like, and I understand the dangers of soot. I understand once that stuff get in your lungs, you are dead. I understand smoke inhalation is normally what kill people before the fire. I understand this. Do you understand? I know. I have some training in those areas. I understand the severity of how smoke can... Listen, a lot of times, ladies and gentlemen, when there's a house fire, an apartment building fire, and you think, oh, the family were burnt alive. They were dead already. They were dead already. They weren't sitting there burning alive. No. It's different. It's different if you had like an explosion, but when there's an actual house fire or something along them lines, people die due to smoke inhalation first. It will kill you in a very short period of time. If you're boxed in one room and that smoke enters the room and you don't, put a wet blanket or towel under the doorpost and to block that smoke, you will die of the smoke alone. Period. Even if you crack your window and you're hanging by the window, that smoke is going to kill you because it's going to keep hitting your lungs and it's going to stay in your lungs and you're not going to be able to breathe. This is why when the so-called alleged terror attack happened at the towers, remember that? And people were jumping out the windows. You know why? It wasn't because of no fire. It's because of the smoke. The smoke was so intense. People just rather jump. It was that bad due to the smoke. So I want you to think about what the fire chief is saying when he says the combination of smoke and fire was made it nearly impossible to see or approach the car. If that's the case, how was this woman in the car for over 45 minutes under those extreme conditions, those intense flames and all that smoke now, and yet they brought her out. They brought her out and she was still alive. Now, how do a person still remain alive? And the fire department got on all this gear. They got the oxygen going. They got the... Man, come on. She was supposed to die, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to get to it. Okay, so it goes on and says firefighters they arrived at 11:01. Interesting. Isn't that interesting how the time coincide with when your boy Twitch died? Remember, at 11 he was supposed to check out. Did y'all find it a little suspicious? Isn't that interesting? Your boy Stefan Twitch Boss was supposed to check out of the motel at 11. You see how that goes? The fire department arrived at 11:01 a.m. Isn't that interesting? Isn't it interesting how the timing seems the same? Wow. Very, very interesting. So the fire department arrives at 11:01 a.m., but apparently they were unsure. Now check this out. They were unsure if someone was in the car. Wait a minute. These are firemen. What do you mean you're unsure if someone was in the car? That don't make no sense. So you guys were unsure if someone was in the car when a car ran into the house? That doesn't sound like firefighters to me. That sounds like a staged blood sacrifice. So they delayed the time even more. You see how that works, ladies and gentlemen? Firefighters arrived at 11:01 a.m., but apparently they were unsure if someone was in the car. 21 minutes later, it appears they confirmed someone was inside the car. Talk about unprofessional. Now, this should have had an internal investigation on the rescue mission operation by these firemen. pure neglect, waste of time, not using proper resources to extract the person from the car. But hey, there's more. There's more. We got more for you. That's right. Now you see them on the roof doing whatever they're doing. She's supposed to be now keep in mind, she's supposed to be inside of the house full of smoke. Now look at that smoke right there, right? That smoke tells you what the level of the fire is. If we have any firefighters in the building, they would know. Like when the smoke is white, that, it's burning a certain way. If it's dark black, you already done know it's out of control. When the smoke is like black and heavy, that fire is it got some fuel. There's some fuel around that's feeding that flame, right? So if it's white, that means that, like they putting it out, they putting out the flame. It's burning at a certain, it's not too hot, not BTUs, not over, that's another whole topic. But my point is, look at that smoke. It's coming from the house. So if she's in a car, how in the world is she not dead and toasted? Remember, she's a white woman. So if she got burned, she'll be toast, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've seen people burned. It's not a pretty sight, It just doesn't even make any sense. So I got to put it all together, man. Well, we don't know all the details. All we know is that we have to talk about it. It could be a Hollywood set. Let me see who said that. Manufactured reality. He said, Ringo, check if this was deemed a designated Hollywood set. It could have been. Because that house looked mad small. I'm talking about that house was small. Could have been a staged event. And the thing is, they already had her in the house to sacrifice her, to burn her alive, to make it look like a fire. Could have been anything, because the story just don't add up. Again, we're going to look at the news clip. We're going to bring it all out for you. Just be patient. And again, if you're joining in the stream, we have about 1,100 people in the building. Again, I really appreciate it if you click that like button if you're enjoying the stream. It really helps out a lot. Let's go. So, moving on, we have a situation where, let's see what we got here. Hold on, I skipped something. Wait a minute. Okay, there was a frantic 911 audio. I'm gonna have to bring that out in another video. I didn't play it because I didn't want to have all that other stuff put together or playing live without me actually listening to it. I didn't listen to none of the audios or any of those things, so I might have to do that separately and see what I find. But it says then, 3 minutes later, they found Anne inside the car. One of the responders said, "We have identified one patient." Now, how you identified her, right? If the car is a burning inferno and she is all full, and see, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in a house and it's burning with smoke, your face will be black with soot. Your nose will be clogged up with soot. You'll be dead already. When I tell you I have training in these particular fields, I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I know what I'm talking about. I was once in the boiler operations in terms of being the proper term would be a fireman, but they later changed that stuff around. But most firemen used to work in a boiler plant, operating boilers, burning number 6 oil. They understand the dangers of soot. They understand the fires and safeties, and they have all the training. If you work in any sort of boiler plant, you have to get keep forgetting the damn cards that you need, man. It's some sort of certification you would have to have that you have to get from the FDNY. I know you have to get an A35 and a P99, I think it is. You have to get those type of certifications in order to even be in a boiler plant. So for them to even talk about how this woman was in a car burning with smoke and they found her and they identified her, that's a lie. How you identified her? How you know it's Ann? How they knew it was Ann? How? The car is burnt up. How they know this? Come on, man. It's fake. It's totally fake, man. You see what I mean? Fake stories, but they had to do it to promote the blood sacrifice. Then 3 minutes later, they found Ann inside the car. One of the responders says, "We have identified one patient." So they were able to get her purse, right? To identify her, right? They already had her information, fam. It was a blood sacrifice. There's no way all her identification information would have been toasted. These are lies. But again, nobody think outside the box, so we just accept the story, right? They identified one patient, inaccessible at the time, but inaccessible at the time. He's pushed up against the floorboard. Now they thought, I guess, because I remember I was watching the news and they thought it was a man. That's what they thought, right? Let's continue looking at this, see what else we can get. Now, check that out. See how they bringing that out on the gurney? Now, I need for you to focus on that number. I need you to focus on that number now. I need you to focus on that number. Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man. I need you to focus on that number, man. Very, very interesting number, right? 63. Yeah, 3666. Yeah, there you go. You got it. Hey, you got it already. Ha! You got it already. Oh, man. Wow. Wow. See, when they do the blood sacrifices, it always coincide with the rituals of the Baphomet. They sacrifice these people to Satan, you know? So they put her in the 666 rescue vehicle, right? I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, again, the way we break down these videos, we break them down so that you can understand that Ann Heche was sacrificed, allegedly, by Ellen DeGeneres due to things that she was going to release in her memoir, book, literature, whatever the case is, and various other information that was supposed to come out. They put her to death. That's right. Let's continue. Now check this out now. It goes on and it says, according to firefighters, Ann was not in the driver's seat. What? Now, come on. So let me get this straight. So she's driving 90 miles per hour, but she's not in the driver's seat. You want me to believe that? You want me to believe that Ann was not in the driver's seat. So then who was driving the car then? Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you, Ann experienced what is known as the blood sacrifice ritual. Her car was either remotely being controlled, and if you think that technology don't exist, you better think again. Her car could have been remotely controlled. It could have been a vehicle that she rented. It could have been a vehicle that she borrowed, and they could have controlled it via a remote control and drove it straight into that damn house. Or there could have been another person that was driving the car while she's out on drugs or some sort of medication that basically put her out. and the person already had on protective gear and everything else and got up on out of there moments before the crash. There's so many different scenarios the way they do these blood sacrifices, man. Let's take a look at this information here before we go on. It goes on and it says, according to firefighters, Ann was not in the driver's seat. A fire official said, "I will say that where the person was in the vehicle was not in the driver's seat, but on the floorboard on the passenger seat." How? How if you crashed? How? That's not making no sense. You crash, you wearing a seat belt. How do you move? How is that possible? They really take us for fools, ladies and gentlemen. They really do. It goes on to say, just before 11:50, Ann was removed from her Mini Cooper. So let me get this straight, ladies and gentlemen. The fire department arrived at 11:01. Remember that. They arrived at 11:01. She was removed from the car at 11:50. And you want me to believe that she's not burnt alive, toast, and dead? Wow. I don't know who write these stories, but this doesn't make no sense at all. None. Look at the car. Look at the car, people. People, look at the car. Look at the car. You can't make this up. And look at the date. Look at the date. You see this? Look at the date, ladies and gentlemen. This is over 4 months ago. So this is still fresh news. Even though I'm late to talk about the story, look at the car. Now, how do you, look at the front end of the car, people. Look at the front end of the car. Listen, that woman is supposed to have scars all over her face, cuts all over her arms. She's supposed to be in bad shape. You understand? Oh no, she didn't die. I mean, she's dead now, of course, because they killed her. Yeah, that's right. They killed her in that Illuminati ambulance. Oh yeah, allegedly. Allegedly, once they put her inside that ambulance, that's when they killed her. They said, you ain't waking up. It's time for you to die. Oh, we're gonna get to that footage. Yeah, we definitely got you. Don't worry about it. But look at the car. Let's take the moment to process the way this car looked. First of all, the way those doors look, you couldn't get out on the driver's side. Clearly, she didn't get out from the driver's side. See how that worked? That car is total. The windows were all shattered, busted up. Now, how in the world is she inside of a car burning and she's able to breathe fresh air? Please explain that to me, people. Right? So now, let's move forward. And again, shout out to everybody that's joining on the show. If you're now joining in, we're talking about Ann Heche, alleged blood sacrifice by Ellen DeGeneres after sexual misconduct allegations. Yeah, that's right. We covered the allegations already. We're now covering the situation with Ann in the burned car. And then we're going to get to the footage. And the reason why we're doing this is to understand the world of Ellen DeGeneres and the women that she was associated with. Because this woman in question that was in the car burning was in a relationship. That's right. That's right. An intimate relationship with Ellen DeGeneres. That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. She was in an intimate relationship with Ellen DeGeneres for a while. And they used to kiss on the set. That's right, in front of everybody during breaks. That's right. So we got to bring it all out so that you the people can understand the real. So let's move on, right? It goes on and it says, as we reported, Ann lost consciousness shortly after the crash and never regained it. She died from her injuries days later. The cause of death was smoke inhalation and thermal injuries. These are all lies. Lies. All of that is a lie, and we're going to prove that. They say she died days later. She was already done dead once she got into that ambulance. You know what I mean? They put her to death because it was a failed blood sacrifice. So they had to finish the job. And I'm going to prove this to you. Now, again, remember, fire department personnel are trained. They're trained to do their job. These are professionals. So what we're going to see shortly is going to show you that this was, in fact, a blood sacrifice ritual. And this was on the air on multiple platforms when it was aired. So they couldn't erase it. They know the world saw it. Let's go. All right. So now, again, they're talking about how she died of smoke inhalation and thermal injuries. Now, shouldn't she have already been dead of smoke inhalation if she was in a burning car in a house for 45 minutes? What do they take us for? A fool? See? The lady in the video is Twitch's wife. Are you up to date with the news? My goodness, man. You must have just flown in to the country, I guess, with all the news that's going on and all the video streams all over the web. You don't know that on the left side of the stream, that's Twitch and his wife? Man, I tell you, boy, it happens in every show, right? Man. Okay. Nah, I'm not gonna let them slow me down. We're gonna continue moving on. Let's go. Let's go.
Breaking news at 6.
Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, we got the footage of them bringing her out. Now, look at the gurney. Look at the gurney and look at how they wrapped her up as if though she's dead. Tied and strapped her down as if though she's dead. See how they did that? Now, again, these are supposed to be firemen that are trained to check a person's pulse, to do this, to do that, to even perform CPR. You know, it is what it is. These guys are trained, right? This is crazy, right? Check it out.
Actress Anne Heche seriously injured after crashing her car.
And I sped up the video for various reasons, but look at this.
Fox overhead when she suddenly sits up on the gurney, surprising firefighters.
Look at this. Now, how does a person go from dead to alive? How does that happen? How does that happen, ladies and gentlemen? That doesn't even make any sense. Look at her skin. She's not burned. How does a person, and notice the firefighters, notice them.
This happened in Mar Vista. That's where Fox 11's Coco McAvoy is live with those breaking details. Coco.
Good afternoon. This was a very serious and fiery crash here in Mar Vista. We know actress Anne Heche is severely burned. She has critical
She said severely burned. That's a lie. That's a lie. She wasn't severely burned. She ain't have no burns, nothing.
From this. Take a look at the aftermath here. You can see all of the charred items in the driveway here and on the sidewalk.
Nobody don't care about any charred items on the sidewalk. This was a staged blood sacrifice.
And then as we pan over, you can also see that there is caution tape surrounding this entire home after it was seriously damaged in this crash as well. Let's show you some new surveillance video that we just got into our newsroom. You can see the moments before the crash. You will see a blue Mini Cooper fly by on the...
So what if it flew by? That looked like a car that's being controlled. That looked like a car that's don't have no brakes, allegedly. That car may have had no brakes, and Anne had no control, because how she jumped from driving the car to being on the floor somewhere else in the car. How does that happen when you had an impact and a crash? I can guarantee you her car had no brakes. But people were going in on her saying she better buy back that lady house as if though, you know, she did this on purpose.
Street here leading up into this house, you can see that actress Anne Heche was going at a high rate of speed, at least according to the video here. This is Ring camera footage.
See how that
and now
is?
take a look at this other video that we're going to show you this afternoon. You can see the fiery
Now look at all that smoke, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that smoke.
aftermath from this crash.
Now, how does a person, and see, if the smoke looked like that white color, that means they started already to attack the fire already. They started to extinguish that fire. They started to put some solution down to hopefully, you know, get everything under control. But now, come on, with all of that smoke, she's supposed to be dead already. You don't survive things like that. You die. You ask anybody that been in a situation where there's a fire, you coughing because you can't breathe. Your lungs is clogged with soot and all sorts of mess. You're literally suffering to get air, you know? So I don't know what they take us for, but they really believe the public are foolish. They really believe that.
Following this bad crash, it all happened on South Walgrove Avenue just before 11 o'clock this morning. The car, that Mini Cooper, barreled through the house, causing a massive fire.
So you want us to believe that this car just kind of drove into the house, right? And went all the way in the back of the house, in that small little tiny house, right? And you really want us to believe that now? So conveniently. All right, we'll just go with that. Let's go.
Firefighters knocked down the flames and pulled the charred car out of the home. The driver's license plates come back to actress Anne Heche.
The driver's license come back to Anne Heche. Interesting. Conveniently, right? They just know all of this stuff, right? Yeah, she got no oxygen system, nothing. But the fire department got all of that equipment, but they were too scared to go to the car and waited 45 minutes to get her out. Wow.
Skyfox video shows Heche pop up disoriented while she's wrapped in a white cloth following this crash.
Now, when someone get up like that, ladies and gentlemen, that's because they were under a drug and they got up. They staged this as if though she was driving a car and she crashed into a house and was burned alive, and it failed. She was actually already in the house, drugged, allegedly, and then they brought her out once the fire was there. And she was supposed to be dead, and she wasn't. She got up like, what are y'all doing? Where am I? What's going on? She's not burned. She got no cuts, no broken limbs, no scars, no lacerations. What do they think we are, crazy? Yeah, she's trying to escape. She's trying to say, put me down. Where you going? And look how they just throw her in the damn truck. Look what they do to her.
Neighbors in the area had been rushing to this scene all afternoon
get me out of here.
to try to figure out what was going on. Take a listen to what this one witness had to say about what she saw.
They just pushed her inside the ambulance. They didn't even give her a chance. They said, you dying today. Today you gonna die. She knew something was wrong. She got up disorientated because she just woke up from that damn drug they had her under. That woman was not in the car, ladies and gentlemen. That woman was not in that car. She was not driving that car. She was not driving that car. That was a damn dummy in the front of the car. That was a dummy looking like it was her, a mannequin, a crash test dummy, and they had her, if anything, inside the house already, planted. Do you understand me? And it was all staged like a movie. That woman was not in that car. That car was remotely driven, staged to deceive the public into thinking that it was Anne Heche that was driving that car. You understand? That is what was going on. Let's hear what this woman got to say.
3 fire engines here and a lot of commotion. But the result was the fire that was going on, the billows of flour were so like 200 feet high, so I know it had to be pretty severe inside.
She said it was 200 feet high flames, which is a lie, right? 200 feet high? Come on. That don't even make no sense, right? And she said the heat and everything was so intense. I know it was intense inside, but she happened to be in a car burning for 45 minutes and was able to come out on the gurney. They wrapped her up as if though she was dead, which means they were like, look, I know she's dead because she's under the drug. You have to understand context, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to break this thing down for you. And if you're enjoying the stream, support the stream with a like, fam. You out there in the clouds, we got about 1,500. Let's get them likes to 1,000. You know, I would really appreciate that. Let's get them likes to 1,000. If you're enjoying the show, we breaking this thing down. Let's get us to that 1,000 mark. All right. So now check this out. They want you to believe that she was burning in a car. That's a lie. She was unconscious in the house before the car impact. She was under some sort of drug, allegedly. And the drug wear off. And she got up. She got up right before they put her in the ambulance to show the whole world. I'm alive, people. I was not burning. I was not in the car. That's what she's crying out, probably saying. I was not in that car. They set me up. They set me up. Please, anybody help me. That's what she was saying. She got up like, what are y'all doing to me? Why am I strapped to this cart? What's going on? What's happening? They put Ann to death through a blood sacrifice. And once they closed that ambulance door, ain't no telling what they did to her. Ain't no telling what went on inside of that ambulance. They probably grabbed her by her neck and said, shut up. Don't even move. What y'all doing to me? You know what you did, right? You thought you were going to get away? Oh, trust and believe you're not going to see the light of day anymore. That's what went on. Trust and believe that, y'all.
And what we just learned a few minutes ago was that a neighbor in this area actually ran to the scene in his flip-flops. He got the homeowner out of her home safely along with her pets. We also learned that he tried to get actress Anne Heche out of her vehicle as well. But with all of the smoke and the flames, he felt like that would not be the best idea. So he waited for those paramedics to arrive.
Are y'all listening to this madness that this woman just finished saying? She said that the neighbor ran into a burning inferno house with his flip-flops on, was able to get out the homeowner and her dogs, her pet dogs. And he tried to see if he could get Ann out the car, but it was too much flames, too much smoke, and he couldn't do it. So he waited for the fire department and everybody to come in. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is crazy. So Bob from down the block with his big belly came out of his house after watching Three's Company. He's running with his flip-flops now. Now keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, flip-flops, right? In a fire, he ran into the house with the smoke. He was able to rescue the homeowner with his flip-flops on and get her dogs. So he was able to get the dogs and the homeowner out the house, but he didn't get Ann out the house because he couldn't get her out of the car because of the smoke and the flames. But they want you to believe that Ann survived being in this car for 45 minutes now. Now, okay, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, I need to find out if maybe I'm just crazy. Right? With a show of a 1, do you believe the narrative the news is putting out there? Or do you not believe it with a number 2? Put a 1 if you believe the narrative the news media. Put a 2 if you don't. Because this is crazy. This not making no sense. This woman said that a next door neighbor, was able to put on his Superman cape and run into a burning house inferno, and he was able to get the homeowner out of the house, including saving her dogs. He had time to do all of that with no personal protective equipment, no PPE, right? He was able to get everybody out the house with no protective gear, right? And for whatever reason, Ann is in the car burning for 45 minutes, mind you. And then the fire department take her out the car. Out of the car that was burning. And they claim she wasn't in the driver's seat. She was somewhere else in the car. On the floor somewhere. How did she get there? The car impact. And why she's not dead. With all that smoke. When all that smoke fills up that house, there's no more air. You're just breathing in smoke. And the more you breathe it in, the more you choking. And every little breath you try to take, you choking even more till your damn lungs collapse. A horrible way to die. Smoke inhalation, that's bad. You know. Give me 1 second. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. Now, I'm just going to play the video so we can get back on track. Let's go.
But obviously, very heroic actions from that neighbor, and we're hoping to speak to him soon and have that for you at 7 o'clock.
And they still haven't spoken to that neighbor yet. Where's the neighbor? I need to hear from that neighbor. So the overwhelming majority of the chat went with a number 2, and basically they don't agree with the narrative that the news is putting out there. You see how that works? Because it don't make no sense. This woman was brought out on a gurney, strapped up, and her face is covered. Why would you have a woman face covered if she is alive? Why would you do that, Mr. Fire Department guys? That's not standard procedure. You don't do that. You don't have a woman's face covered that just finished enduring all of that smoke inhalation. You're supposed to give her fresh air. Not only that, you're supposed to put the air on her. Get one of them oxygen things and give her some damn air. They didn't give her nothing. They didn't give her nothing. You know what I mean? They didn't give her no support. They considered her to be dead. And she got up. You know why? Because of the drugs that she had allegedly in her body. When she was on that gurney and she got up, that shocked all of them because they were like, no, what just happened? She's supposed to be gone. Yeah, they were acting like she was dead. They were acting like she was dead because remember, if you think logically, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't like she was unconscious. They checked for a pulse and they didn't have one. Or they just didn't care. They just considered her dead and wrapped her up, covered her face, strapped her up, ready to take her out. But when she got up, it shocked the world.
It
shocked the
thank
whole
you.
world.
More on Anne Heche. She is an Emmy-nominated actress. Her most recent film was 13 Minutes. She may be best known for 6 Days, 7 Nights with Harrison Ford and Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones. She was also in a relationship with Ellen DeGeneres from 1997 to 2000.
And this is crazy, y'all. This right here is really a crazy situation, man. And I don't see how anybody could look at this and not understand that this wasn't a blood sacrifice. I don't see how they could figure that out, right? Look at this mess. Look at this mess. Look at all that smoke. Look at this mess. Let me show you. Let me see. Hold on a second. Check this out.
It's the home. We've learned the actress Anne Heche was at the wheel.
Look at her getting up.
And was seriously.
You see that? And they pushing her inside the damn devil's ambulance, the 666 truck. Look at that.
Injured in this fire.
Look at her. She's like, what are y'all doing to me? Look at her. Look at the guy put his arm on her like, no, you dying. Get in there. Get in there for the blood sacrifice. Wow. 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 They sent her to the altar of Satan. That's what they did, fam. I'm telling you, man. She was the result of a blood sacrifice, y'all. There's no way around this, man. This woman was up. This woman got up from the dead, bruh. She was raised from the dead. And they didn't care. Normally, under normal circumstances, they would stop the gurney and be like, oh, you're okay? Hey, let's get the Oscar in. Let's get this. Let's hook her up. No, they just kept pushing her in there like, get in there. You're done. We got you.
This news reporter Christian Cadero live in Mar Vista tonight with the new information. Christian.
You can't trust the media, man. I'm telling you right now, you can't trust them. Check it out.
Yeah, Mark, that vehicle involved in the crash was registered to Anne Heche. We'll have more on that in a moment because
So it was registered to Anne Heche, right? The vehicle was registered to her, right? That's what they want you to believe, y'all. That vehicle was a death vehicle. A part of the blood sacrifices to lure her in, to drive her into the death. I don't believe that she was possibly driving that car. I don't believe she was driving a car. There's two scenarios we could use. Either she was already at that house, waiting for that car to hit that house to do what it had to do. Because I don't see how that car got into the house. Because if you look at the front steps, that car would have just hit the front of those steps. It has like a little 3-story steps, like 3 steps to get up, 3 or 4 steps. It would have banged right into the damn front of the wall of the house, the foundation, and crashed. So how did it get into the damn house? Like, a lot of the stuff, man, I'm telling you, that's what, oh, well, you know, look at the ring camera. You know, the ring camera shows the car driving by. That could be anywhere. That could be anywhere. And even if it is true, who cares? Where's the camera that show it going into the house? That's the camera I want to see. Because the way that looks is as if though somebody put a ramp, you know, like a little ramp in front of the house so the car could drive and jump right into the house. Because I don't see how it jumped up into the house. You know, that just doesn't, it defies gravity, if you ask me. Everything. Well, let's go.
you look at what is left here, you really get the sense of all the damage that this crash caused as you hear and see the crews working.
So let me get this straight. The crews are working. What are they working for if the house is burning? Nobody can live in there. What are they doing? What are they doing? No, they cleaning up. The crews are not even supposed to be there working at night. They don't even supposed to be there at that time. What are they doing? That's the cleanup crew, y'all. I don't even think nobody was living at that house. I think that house was vacant the whole time. So the car just somehow, now think about this, ladies and gentlemen. They want you to believe that the car went through that front. I know they're not wanting us to believe the car just went through the front door. This is what they want us to believe, that the car went up the steps, went towards, listen, this is what they want us to believe. They want us to believe that the car went up the ramp of the steps, turned this way, and went into this area over here like that. That's what they want us to believe. That doesn't make sense when you look at the street. Now, I showed y'all the street in the beginning of the stream, right? I showed y'all the street. So how did the car, listen, fam, this is not making sense, man. This is not making any sense when you really think about it. Let me see if I could do something real quick, man, because this is crazy. I mean, it is really messing me up, man. Let me see if I could do this real quick. All right, let me see. I'm trying to get a photo real fast. Okay. This is a photo here. This ain't making no sense. This is not making no sense, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Let me see. Okay. They got the car there. This is not making... I'm looking at some photos on my end. This is crazy. Let me see if I can put this into the video. Let me see. This doesn't make sense. This really makes no sense. Wow. This is they playing with us, people. They playing with our intelligence. Seriously. That's why when I do these videos, I try to, be as thorough as possible to give you the best information. Right? Now check this out, right? She came from down on the bottom portion of the screen. She came through there, speeding through the block. If you're going straight, how do you go straight and how do you get into that? How do you get into that house? Like, it's not making any sense. It's not making any sense, fam. It's not making any sense. What is going on here? This is crazy. It's like, yeah, like somebody else was directing the car to go where it wanted it to go, because this doesn't make sense. And hey, ladies and gentlemen, also, there's more information to the story, because there's other videos, right, that shows her crashing the car elsewhere. It was as if though the car was being remotely driven, because it crashed into a garage area somewhere else. There's other videos on YouTube showing this, and you had people telling her, get out the car, get out the car. But they never showed you no video of her in a car. It's like it was all staged, as if though she was drinking and driving. That's how they wanted to play this thing off, as if though she was drinking and driving. So now you got the cleanup crew at the house trying to clean up the mess. I don't believe none of these things, man. This stuff is crazy, fam. That woman went out bad, yo.
Clean it up late into the night. Video that we obtained shows the moments that led up to this.
They're the cleanup crew, boarding up the house, doing all this other extra stuff. Really? Really? Let me get that, because I'm going to go do some more research on this. Let me copy this address so I can go do my due diligence. I got to do my Google Maps. You know how it go, man. Google Maps is my friend.
Today, the street that cuts Mar Vista from Venice had its silence.
Now, this is, again, a Ring camera just showing the car barreling down the street.
Blue Mini Cooper and its driver.
Now, you heard that sound? It sounds like somebody's brakes is not working. That doesn't sound like any car that's just speeding. It sounds as if though the brakes are just not working and the car is just going. This is crazy, man. The way they do these blood sacrifices is evil. That's evil, man. Imagine you in that car and the brakes are not even working. You hear like a squeaking sound, like, it's something wrong with the car, man. Like,
who failed to brake before running a stop sign and into a house, this house.
And that sound effect doesn't even sound like a car crash. Like, who they think they fooling, bro? That's not a real car crash sound effect. Nah. That wasn't even a real car sound effect. Now notice this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the car. Look at the bushes, right? Look at the bushes. So the car just hit the front of the wall, like the base foundation of the structure of where the house is, because the house is about a good, I would say, about 3 feet off the ground, right? The foundation about 3 feet. So the car just hit the front and just kind of just went through the bushes and went all the way into the house conveniently, perfectly into the house. Similar to how they told you how the Pentagon was allegedly hit with a plane. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that story that they gave y'all? That a plane, but then when they checked, there was no plane in sight, no wreckage, no fuselage. There was nothing there. Interesting, right? So how does car conveniently get inside the house? Could that car have been planted there already? I'm telling you, man. Y'all got to pay attention to how these blood sacrifices is, man. Y'all got to understand, man. So the whole front of that house was bust open because of that car, right? Conveniently, right? It just went right in, perfect, like a basketball player shooting into the hoop, right? Perfect target. Man, I tell you, man, these Illuma lies be mad crazy, man.
It clipped the curb over a short stone wall through bushes, then straight.
Notice they said it clipped over a stone wall into the bushes, into the house. What a perfect shot. They need to hire her to go to the damn NBA. This is crazy. Wow. Are y'all seeing what's on the screen? Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Oh my goodness, yo. Look what's on the screen, y'all. Look what's on the screen. No. Look what's on the screen, man. 7 take away 1. 7 take away 1. 666. Bars. Oh, man. Yo, these blood sacrifices is amazing, man. Yo, 1766, 7 take away 1, 666. Yo, this is getting crazy, y'all. This is really spooky. This is crazy. So the ambulance is 666, the residence is 666. My goodness, man. Yo, this is crazy, man. Come on now. You know you gotta click the like button for the video now. Come on now. Come on. It's crazy. Yo, this is amazing, man.
It erupted into flames, so not just the vehicle, but the entire home, to where we had to fight a structure.
So the entire home was engulfed in flames, y'all. That's what they're telling you. The entire home. So let me get this straight. The entire home was in flames, but the car never exploded with the woman inside the car. That's what you want me to believe. You want me to believe this. Ladies, listen, ladies and gentlemen. A car crash at 90 miles per hour and it don't explode and burn this lady. Do they take us for fools? This is insulting on my intelligence. 90 miles per hour is what they allege she was driving at. That didn't look like no 90 miles. That was about a damn 100 miles per hour, man. The car would have exploded if it was in a house burning. Remember, the car has fuel in it, ladies and gentlemen. You don't think, look at the damage to the car. You're going to tell me the damn fuel tank was all perfectly safe and there was no way it could have, that car would have exploded. Do you understand? There would have been a boom. Not only that, that whole house would have been gone. I'm telling you, man, these blood sacrifices, man, I don't know who do them, but they're not making any sense with this.
Fire at the same time.
The driver, who LAFD described as an adult woman, was taken to the hospital in critical condition. DMV records and police sources.
Oh, look how she got up from the dead, y'all. She got up from the dead. Wow. She got up from the dead and they shoved her tail into that truck like, hell no, you are not alive. You supposed to be dead. Remember, they had her covered up. Her face was covered, which means she was supposed to be gone, y'all. She was supposed to be gone. How the fire department made that mistake? Why would you take a woman that's alive and cover her up like she's dead and not provide any oxygen, fam? And you're trained. So that means she died twice. That's crazy. This is why I'm basically alleging that she was under some sort of drug and it wore off and she woke up. Now, how could a person sit up? Ladies and gentlemen, this is crazy. How could a person sit up if they're in pain, burnt alive, was in a car crash? She got up, her arms had no burns, her hands were not broken. Come on, man. This is crazy, man. You understand? This is crazy. Wow, man. I mean, this is just amazing, man. Listen, man, I'm still surprised I didn't even know about this story. I'm now learning about this story. And we trying to tie this in to the fact of the Stefan Twitch case on how the blood sacrifices work, on how they getting rid of people. So this woman was in a relationship with Ellen DeGeneres. For those that don't know, Anne Heche was in a relationship with Ellen DeGeneres. And it seemed like everybody that's connected to Ellen DeGeneres, it seemed like they just end up dying. For some odd reason, they all getting blood sacrifice. Right? So let's continue on.
Confirmed the driver is registered to Anne Heche. CNN and witnesses ABC7 spoke with say the driver was actor Anne Heche.
Wow, so actor Anne Heche, Ellen's lover, right? End up getting deleted. Right when she was about to release her information regarding Ellen DeGeneres. Wow. Isn't that convenient? Isn't that convenient, y'all? Isn't that amazing?
Reached out to her representatives for comments. Video going viral shows the same Mini Cooper crash into this garage door at an apartment complex half a mile west.
And that other apartment, whatever door, whatever, that garage or something, that was in another video. You know what I mean? Because other people did videos regarding the situation too. But I didn't want to make the stream, way too long. I wanted it to be about, 2 hours and a few minutes so that I can, wrap it up. But yeah.
Or the one that ended in flames. She did not hurt anyone else along the way, but it was close.
Look at the damage in that house. Look at all of that mess. Car, flames. How she was alive, y'all. Come on, that defies all logic, everything. It doesn't even make sense for her to be alive. And that proves that she wasn't in that car. When that car impacted, that woman was not in that car. They made it look like she was driving that car because they wanted you to believe she was dead. When she raised up and was alive, that shocked the whole world. And they brushed this under the rug, y'all.
Left in the house, everything's ruined.
Roy Morgan lives next door to the destroyed house. His neighbor was home when it happened.
She was just in our house with us and told us that the dogs were sitting with her when the car came flying through.
He said the dog was sitting there when the car came flying through. Now look at the way that looked, fam. Perfectly. So out of all places that car could have hit, it just went into the house conveniently, perfectly into the house. Nah, that was planted, y'all. That was planted, staged to delete Anne Heche. That's right. They planned the whole thing, man. This is sad. This is sad, man.
And the car stopped like 2 feet away from where she was sitting.
And think about it. Anne had no facial lacerations, nothing. Nothing. She was perfectly good to go. Like, that's crazy.
She is shocked in disbelief, but walked away with her dogs and uninjured for
So the woman that was in the house walked away with her dogs uninjured.
whatever reason. In that moment, she was towards the back of the house.
Which likely saved her life if she was in the pathway of that vehicle towards the front.
You see where they bringing the car out of? You see where they bringing the car out of, y'all? From the side area? Come on, man. Come on, y'all. This is crazy, man.
Could have been a whole different story today.
The LAPD is still very early in its investigation into what all led up to this, so they have not made any arrests yet. They haven't arrested the driver or said if they plan to.
So hold up, they haven't arrested the driver, nor do they plan to. Of course you're not planning on arresting the driver because you want her to be dead. That's why. That's why you're not gonna arrest her. See, the whole idea was to delete Anne Heche. Notice that they ain't plan to arrest her. You know, they ain't have no plans to do nothing. But yet, you know, they were talking about how, you know, toxicology tests and all this other stuff came back claiming that she had alcohol in her system. Yeah, I did my research on the story, man. It's crazy. Crazy stuff, man. They really set her up to look like DWI type situation. And she crashed and died. That's how they making it look. Crazy. You know? Very, very crazy, man.
We're live in Mar Vista tonight. I'm Christiana Cordero, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
As we continue to learn new developments into that car crash in Los Angeles, and as the driver by TMZ and Fox 11 out there in Los Angeles identified as Anne Heche. Let's
see, the reason why every news station is covering a story is because they want to, you know, flood your mind with the information. Now, again, they want you to believe that the car. Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, look at this portion here. You see that front piece right there? I'm not sure if you can see it. That's the foundation the houses are built upon. How that car run into here, boom, into that foundation, that car would not enter into there like that. That doesn't even make sense. If anything, if it hit, it would flip and it would just smash on top of the damn roof, if anything. But not go conveniently into the house and all the way in the back of the house. Notice it still got the vehicle still has a lot of energy to continue going all the way into the house now. So it can burn and destroy the whole house. This is what they want you to believe. That's some amazing car. That's some amazing driving for somebody that's supposed to be drunk. You know, to be driving that perfect and drunk? Come on, man. There's no way. There's no way. But this is what they want you to believe.
As we can see the helicopter video there of the car in the house, you can see firefighters.
You see how they pulling out the car? Come on, man.
On the scene there, taking that car out from the house. Fox 11 in Los Angeles said the driver went into that house and sparked a fire.
So the driver went into that house and sparked a fire.
Firefighters were on the scene just before a...
And they want you to believe that while they pulling the car out, that she's still in the car. So, I don't get it, man. So she's supposed to still be in the car while y'all pulling her out the car, right? Well, if the car was a raging inferno, the car should be pretty hot, you know? And that mean that y'all would have sprayed her down with water. There would have been water everywhere. Like, I don't see nothing. Like, come on. Who they think? Yo, they really taking us for a fool, y'all.
7 a.m. on the...
They would still be spraying the car down if the car was really on fire like this. They would be spraying it down to cool it down. You know how hot that would be, fam? You know how hot that car would be if it was really on fire? The car would be very hot. They would have to wait for it to cool. You know what I'm saying? This is why they would be using their special equipment to extinguish that damn car. But this ain't, you know, this ain't making any sense. This is not making any sense, y'all. It's not.
West Coast, a car, a Mini Cooper, you can see there, went through the house, causing a massive fire within an hour.
Look how the firefighter is looking in the car. You see how he's looking in? See?
The firefighters, LAFD, had eventually pulled the car out of your home. You can see it was towed out of the home there. Firefighters still looking in the car to find possible survivors. The driver was rescued, as you'll see in this next little clip.
The driver was rescued. How was a driver rescued after 45 minutes, y'all? 45 minutes she was in a car. smoke, fire, burning, but she was in the car. This is crazy, man. I'm glad I'm doing this story.
Transition to real quick. They were taken to the hospital.
Look at this. Look at this.
In a hurry to get out of the.
Look at how they have her on the gurney with her head completely covered, strapped. That's how they do when you have a dead body, y'all. You see how that is? Check it out. This is how they had her.
That car that crashed into that home. They were worried about the structural damage of that home as it was built in the 1950s, and you could see the house give way a little bit there.
Do you see how they carrying her out? They were expecting her to be dead.
In the house, so they were concerned about that and also concerned about the person, the driver, who was identified as Anne Heche. You probably know the name from TV and movies, from 6 Days, 7 Nights, Donnie Brasco, Wag the Dog, Volcano, a bunch of movies.
Wow,
And
look at that, look at that.
There is a dramatic moment there.
Yo, you ain't see how the guy grabbed her hand and pushed her back inside, y'all? You seen that? Nah, yo. Wow. You ain't see the fireman grabbed her arm and just pushed her back inside? Like, yo, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. Again, shout out to everybody that's coming into the stream saying hello, Ringo. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Peace and blessings to everybody. Appreciate y'all. You know? But let's rewind that scene, man. Look at what the fireman did, right? Look what the fireman did. Look at his hand. Look.
There is a dramatic moment
Look,
there just
wow.
before being put in.
Yo, they just pushed her into that damn truck. Like, listen, you supposed to die today. I don't even think those are firemen, y'all. I don't think they're firemen. I think that this was like a staged situation where the firemen that are there are actually firefighters that clean up blood sacrifices. They call in a special team to do the job. Not just a regular fire department guys. No, they get a special crew that's trained for blood sacrifices.
The ambulance to take to the hospital. That driver was identified as Anne Heche. You can see we slowed it down a little bit for you as a.
Look at that. She's coming to life.
To help this woman.
Look at her. Arms work. She's not paralyzed. There's no, she ain't burnt up. Nothing. But they shove her back in that ambulance.
Get the help that she needed
wow.
in the hospital as she crashed into this house and the fire that you heard just.
That's crazy right there, y'all. That's crazy. That's amazing.
A little bit ago, they were trying to put that out. Of course, we are still trying to track down some details on how that happened and why it happened, and an update on it.
By the pure fact they wrap her up like that is meaning that they think she's dead. They were not expecting her to be raised from the dead.
As well, but the details right now are that driver identified by TMZ is Anne Heche, the actress. It was sparked a fire, and they pulled her out from the vehicle after pulling the car out from the house, and they tried to get her the medical attention she needed as she went to the hospital.
Notice they trying to say that they were trying to get her the medical attention she need. You trying to get her medical attention when her head is covered? No. You don't try to get someone medical attention when they just came from a damn fire, burning in a car with no oxygen to breathe, and you got their face covered. Does that make any sense? No, it don't make no sense. This is crazy, y'all.
You can see again one more time. She
look at this mess.
Is on the gurney there and tries to get up before going in the ambulance, but firefighters.
No, she didn't try to get up. She woke up from a possible coma-like state because she damn near tranquilized her with some sort of sedative thing to kind of put her to sleep. And she got up and she was disorientated, like, where am I? What is going on? That's how she looked. And she appeared weak. She appeared worried, fearful, like, where am I and why are you doing this to me? Wow, that's crazy, man.
Get her in the ambulance and take her to a nearby hospital just this afternoon in Mar Vista in Los Angeles. And this is, of course, courtesy Fox 11, the helicopter there, as they were on the scene throughout this ordeal, as they were there trying to get the car out, also putting out a fire. So doing a lot of different things there.
This is crazy, y'all. This is amazing, man. I don't know what else to say regarding this, man. This is just crazy, y'all. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is amazing. Anyway, y'all, again, trying to bring out the information so y'all can see what's going on. So to everybody that didn't see, we started off the show talking about the Ellen DeGeneres is ending her TV show after allegations of sexual misconduct and a toxic workplace. We covered that earlier. This is what led to her show being canceled due to the ratings. She lost everything, right? So we talked about that. We talked about various things regarding the staff. Some people got fired. They experienced racism and various other issues. We talked about the car, the house. A lot of information we brought out. A lot of information. So, hey, it is what it is, man. This was a blood sacrifice. There's no way around it. We're going to have more content for you. If you're not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing today for the best reactionary videos on YouTube. Hands down, the best reactionary videos on YouTube. We only provide you the best. That's all we do, right? We don't sugarcoat anything. We bring out the best, and that's about it, right? So, that being said, we're going to get up on out of here, do what we got to do. I want everybody to have a blessed one, a blessed day. Be safe out there. And that's Anne giving Ellen DeGeneres a kiss. That's right. During a break on the set of Ellen. Yes, that's right. So, yeah, we're going to be back later on with more content, man. Appreciate everybody rocking with the platform. Salute to everybody in the clouds, everybody that support the shows. If you like my content and you would like to sponsor the show and you feel that it's worthy of your support, I would really appreciate it if you hit the Cash App. $ Ringo TV Raw. All of your support goes right back into the work. Without your support, I cannot do what I'm doing. It's just that simple. If you like my content, you like what I'm doing, you feel like, wow, this is a good platform, good channel, providing a lot of information, a lot of truth, it's entertaining, knowledgeable, a lot of things I'm getting from this. Hey, I don't mind supporting this platform. I really appreciate it if you do that. If you haven't already, click the like button so that the video can go through the algorithm and more people could be notified. Ringo TV Reactions, providing you and yours the best content on YouTube. That's right. Subscribe today to Ringo TV Reactions, bringing you the best reactionary videos on YouTube, hands down. Subscribe today and click the notification bell for more content. Ringo TV Reactions. Yeah! Yeah! We out. Peace and blessings. We out of here, fam. We out. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $ Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth. 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.